Ladies and gentlemen, Will here with Garage Gym Guru in the Living 10 Strength Garage once again, and I appreciate you joining me for another review of equipment in my gym. And today, the equipment that we're going to go over is the Kabuki Strength AC Trap Bar. This bad boy. So, if you're here just because you want my opinion, it's a fantastic bar. Video over. Done. Thanks for joining me. But if you want more detailed review of this bar, stay tuned because that's what we're going to get into. You might be asking yourself, why the hell would I want a trap bar when I can do my deadlifts and my squats with a regular standard barbell? Well, if you haven't watched my previous video on the Bells of Steel one, when I went into depth of why you might want this bar instead, a trap bar or hex bar, let's go over it real quick. Two main reasons in my opinion. First is your overall health, your ability. If you're anything like me, if you have a bad lower back or back problems, you might not be able to do a standard traditional deadlift with a barbell. Why? Because the barbell is positioned differently than with a regular hex bar. Okay, when you do a deadlift with a regular traditional bar, you are moved forward a little bit because of where the bar is placed, which puts more strain on your lower back. Yes, you are supposed to keep your back straight, blah, 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 this and that. But if you have lower back problems, you know exactly what I mean. And the hex bar might be for you. Why? Because you load the plates on the side, just like a regular barbell, but where you hold the weight is differently. Instead of holding it in the front, you hold it to the sides, which allows you to keep your body more straight up and down and lets you do the exercise. Whereas maybe with a straight bar, you can't. For me, that's reason number one. So reason number two, you might want this. Even if you are a person that can do a regular deadlift with a regular barbell, doesn't mean you don't need this. This is a specialty bar, and this is why I love specialty bars. It's a different exercise, right? Excuse my language, but it's a different exercise. It works the muscles different. It's not the same thing as a regular barbell. Same reason why you might want to get a cambered bar. Same reason why you might want a multi-grip bar. It works the muscles differently. Always trick the muscles and they will grow for you. If you do the same shit over and over and over, you're gonna get stale and it's not gonna work. So it's a different exercise, and that's reason number two. So with all that said, now let's get into the detailed review. All right, so you might be asking yourself, why get this trap bar instead of some cheap ass trap bar on Amazon? Well, because it's a cheap ass trap bar. Buy good equipment. First of all, I always say this, and a lot of people say this. Buy good equipment, you only gotta buy it one time. That's it, because it's good equipment. But when you buy crap, you're gonna have to buy crap again. Or you're gonna finally have to buy that good bar and you're spending double the money. So that's reason number one to buy this bar instead of something just cheap on Amazon. So the next question would be, why get this bar instead of some other bar that another fantastic company makes, like Prime Fitness, Vulcan, or some of the other ones? Well, if you're looking for something that's open trap bar, I can't really compare it to other companies because I haven't used those. I'm sure they're fantastic. Now I can compare it to the Bells of Steel one because I had that. And I can tell you, this is far, far superior than that. And here's one of the biggest reasons why. Odd angle, I know. But just to give you guys an idea of why that reason is because of the way they built this thing. If you look from foot plate to foot plate, it's nice and wide. Just like when you rack a barbell. When you rack a barbell, the plates don't make the bar topple over because of the fact that you're putting plates on one side and not the other. That's because of the width of it. That's what they did with this. The width between one foot plate to the other is nice and wide, so when you put a plate on one side, it doesn't fall over. That's a plus. So another reason why to get this is because of the handles. They give you different options. If you look on their website, not only do they give you grips in different sizes, they also give you different widths as far as the plate that holds the grips on, the handles on. They give you short, they give you wider, and they kind of give you a medium size as well. If you guys look on their website, it gives you those options that you can pick. Now, as far as the handles, they come standard with these two here, right? It's a 1.5 and a 1. But you do have the options to buy another handle that is even thicker. So if you're a bigger guy, or you want something more for a fat grip, you have that option. That's another plus to the bar. Also with the handles here, guys, I want to make sure I mention these are not swivel. Now I believe that if you buy the 2-inch ones, the love handles, they actually swivel back and forth, but these are tight. There is no swivel in them, so once you put them on, that's it. Now you can easily take these off and switch them, because as you guys can see, this angle, this one sticks out farther. I like that, so it brings it a little up higher when I'm actually doing the movement. But if you want to take this bar, instead of moving it this way, you can bring it more towards you, and you would end up using this handle instead, which is then, as you guys can see, more of a flat angle when you lift. Okay, next thing, if I can get in here, is the foot plates. The way they design these foot plates is pretty fantastic. Why? Because if you look at some of the other high-end companies that have designed bars like this, usually the foot plate is pretty flat, or it's round, just kind of like the bells of steel. And it doesn't make much sense, because when you think about when you're going to take this bar and you're going to topple it over, once you put your plates on, you want it to kind of be able to rock back and forth, but you want it stable. So the way they designed this is these pieces are metal here, and we're going to do a really close-up look here in a minute, but these pieces are they're metal and they're real stable. They're on there really nice and tight. So they have actually, and I'll show you guys when we do the close-up video, but they have a curve to them. So when you go ahead and you push it forward or bring it back, it's not going on a straight piece like this, it's going at a curve, so it angles itself when it's coming down on the plates. That makes it really nice and easy too when you're lifting the weight up, or you're lifting the bar back up with all those plates on there. It grips down and it's able to easily push back up. All right, so now that we've kind of gone in detail of why you might want this bar, the different benefits of having it, the pluses of this bar, let's get a really close look now. Like always, let's take a quick look closer, up, down, back and forth, starting with, of course, the beautiful end cap there that comes on all their bars. I love the fact that it says the trap bar on it. I think that's a great little detail they put. Now, if you've been following me, you know that I bought these bars, all my Kabuki strength bars, blemished, because they come cheaper, about 68 bucks cheaper, depending on the price of the bar. And also they come a lot faster. So this bar comes in, if you haven't seen my previous video, guys, check it out where I actually unboxed this bar and the Cadillac bar. But if you haven't seen it, this piece, if you haven't seen other people's videos, I'm sure there's plenty out there, this piece comes separate, right? Nice collar for your plates. There's 4 screws total that attach the collar to the bar. It actually goes all the way through to the other side, so you have no problem. Even if these come loose, it's not going to come off on you. It's not going to bend on you or anything like that. This is solid. And then there's 4 more screws on the other side. Now, nice thing is, obviously, these are flush, so that way when your plates come on, they don't hit any screw and mess them up. So make sure when you guys build this goes on the inside. Same thing over here. And these, make sure these actually go on this side over here by the handles. Down to the bottom, foot plates. These foot plates are actually metal. I mentioned those in my other video. They are metal, and they have these little little grooves in them right here, if you can see that. And that just helps grip onto the mat of whatever you're using it on. And that way you can kind of dig in there, but it does not ruin this. They're not sharp or anything like that, so they're not going to ruin your mats. But that just helps them grip. They bolt in nice and easy. You get 4 of these. There's 1 on each side of both legs. Coming up, you have your handles. This piece is separate as well. You screw this right into here, and then you screw on your handles. You guys can see the knurling on there is pretty aggressive. This is the 1.5 inch. There's the 1 inch. And they do have an option for you to buy a 2-inch love handle, I guess they call it. Coming up here, the bar is structured, comes up. Obviously you guys can see on the bottom, there is no bottom piece because it's an open trap bar. Coming on top, it's got a slick paint job on it. Now mine does have some blemish on it, but that's the biggest blemish I can find. It doesn't really bother me a whole lot, but that's how I bought it, so I have to live with it. Now, you guys could always, if you do get the blemish, you could always take this piece before building it, take it to a place that could sandblast it and repaint it any color you want. If you buy the blemish and that bothers you. So coming out across, comes over, nice thick structure, no problems with it. Coming down, I do believe though with time and use, this is gonna fade anyway because of the kind of paint that's on it. I think just dropping it down on the mats or wood or whatever you're using, that could possibly happen. And back down, other side looks exactly like the side before. Once again, your 2 handles, foot plates, and your collar. So that's a nice close look, guys.